This is Beat After Beat, and we are live here in the Motor City, 40 rocking degrees and cloudy. Lightning strikes again. Heavy metal thunder up your ass. We have a special guest today. Lost for Words is in the house. Thank you for showing up. Much love to the fullest. Welcome, welcome. This is Beat After Beat. Special guest today in the house, Lost for Words. Go check out Lost for Words. She is our special guest here on Lightning Strikes Again. We'll be talking hard rock and heavy metal today. Opening act today will be Dokken, rocking with Dokken. Also, the headliner, Ronnie James Dio here on Lightning Strikes Again. Let's bring up Lost for Words is in the back of the room, and we'll bring her up.
Hello. What's going on, my friend?
We're going to make this show epic today. And we're going to try to, and appreciate all the love and support. Lost for Words is a big Iron Maiden fan. And in case y'all didn't know, she got her name from track 3 off the Power Slave album, Lost for Words. Lost for Words, could you tell us why you chose that name as your stage name for YouTube, and what does that song mean to you personally, if anything?
Well, my fiance and I used to do a radio show on Metal Messiah Radio for about 4 years, and our show was called Power Slaves with Toby and Lori. And when Toby passed away in 2021, I stopped doing radio because we did it together, and I decided to change the format of our YouTube and make it a podcast. And Lost for Words, obviously being on Power Slaves on the album, it's an instrumental, and it's kind of a play on words, Lost for Words being an instrumental, but it's a podcast. So a little bit of irony there, I guess. But so I just changed it, and we did a couple of kind of podcasts when we were still doing the radio show, and we actually called it Lost for Words at that time. So I just kind of rebranded our YouTube channel and made it that. So that's kind of where that came from. But it's an instrumental, and it's a mighty instrumental, by the way.
And just last week, you went live, and I caught that, and you were surprised that I caught that. I'm like, that's track 3 off the Power Slave album,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You were throwing out all those Maiden references, and we were like, cool. And so every time I'm at lunch, I catch you on while I'm working, and I catch your lightning strikes, and I caught you last week, and I was like, dude, and you were like, we're doing alphabet A B C D, and I was like, dude, Dio, and you were like, all right.
I went,
okay, cool.
And I did that for you. I provided a couple Dokkens and a couple deals in the music videos in the playlist for everyone to see.
Hi, Christina.
Welcome. It's rare that Beat After Beat has visitors.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. And I'm shaking here, and it's like, oh God, what am I gonna say next?
You're a fellow music lover, and I mean, anytime I get an opportunity to talk to people about music, because music is my passion, so I'm all about it. So I'm totally signed up for it.
Sure. So yeah, today we have the opening act, Um,
Now, did you get a chance to ever see Dokken live?
we opened up for Don Dokken in
Sweet.
1989. So we opened up for Dokken in 1989 at Harpo's Concert Theater in Detroit. So it was a full house that night. Probably almost 2,000 people were there. So it was just a huge night at Harpo's.
Super fun.
If you've never heard of Harpo's Concert Theater,
I have.
I played there all the time. Um, I started playing in the bars right after high school. Right after I graduated high school, I was going to go to art school at Center for Creative Studies in downtown Detroit, but I declined. I had a $5,000 um, scholarship to go to art school. Um, but I made a detour and went for the rock and roll lifestyle, the heavy metal. I'm like, I'm not gonna stick around in class when I can go see all the barmaids and be on stage. To be at Harpo's is amazing to be on stage. The stage at Harpo's is very high up, and you're looking down at this crowd here, and it's so amazing. You feel like a god up there playing your guitar, and you're just in the lights, and you're just looking down at everybody, and they're all cheering for you, or they're throwing tomatoes at you, either one. and then we got the riots, lots of riots in the bars. So opening act is Rockin' with Dokken. Band I was in opened up for Don Dokken in 1989. I graduated in 87, and in 88 I formed a band, and then we started rehearsing, and we had a warehouse, and we started playing in the bars, and so from 88 to 92 I was in bands playing here in Michigan.
That's fun.
Making lots of demos and being on the radio. And then we have your bird, and what's his name?
His name's Buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah, I've had him for 17 of his 21 years. He'll be 22 in March.
Could you tell us maybe who was the first band you ever seen?
Well, the first rock concert I ever went to see was Van Halen. That was in 1984. I saw that tour.
84.
Yeah, I was just 13 years old, a young kid just checking out music. And then the following year, I saw the World Slavery Tour at Trout Air.
Right.
So that was absolutely amazing. That was Rat, Accept, Mama's Boys, and Iron Maiden.
Wow. And
that started my absolute love for this genre.
And you just went forward. You were caught.
I was caught in a mosh.
Right, caught in a mosh, Anthrax. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good to have you on the panel. Good to have like-minded, kind people on the channel, and I appreciate you to the fullest.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me. Like I said, anytime I get an opportunity to talk about tunes, I'm here.
So what was maybe the first album you picked up and brought it home to listen to?
Do you remember Columbia House? You remember
Columbia House Records? Yes.
You used to do the mail order thing where you pay 99 cents for the first one and you get all the records. Uh-huh. So I think the first ones, and I actually still own them. I have Rat, Out of the Cellar, Scorpions, Love at First Sting, just a multitude of other, from that era of music, Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. So those were the first vinyls I had gotten with my Columbia House deal.
Right.
And I remember just playing them on the turntable and just loving them and just keep going more and more, going to the record store, and then just buying vinyl. You'd go and flip through and be like, that looks cool. And you'd bring it home and spin it. and you'd be
Sure.
like, "This is amazing." And I found Metallica, their first album, that way.
And you still own these.
I
And
do.
they most likely on the back of the albums it'll say Columbia House Records on the back of the album
Right.
in very fine print.
Yeah, I have like 2 crates. I have 2 milk crates filled with vinyl that I've collected over the years, and I still have a record player that actually works.
Don't lose that.
Nope. Give me 1 second. BRB.
Well, welcome everybody. Lightning strikes again with your host, Beat After Beat. Special guest, Lost for Words. Go in the chat real quick. Christina Bell, DPR, Crypt Keeper, much love to you.
Sorry about that. I have a meatloaf in the oven.
Already?
Yeah, I'm making early dinner today.
So we got Crypt Keeper, we got we've
Big
got
Brother
Lost
Bear
for
too.
Words.
That's me.
I know. We got Christine Bell going through the chat.
Crypt Keeper went to AC/DC's For Those About to Rock tour. I saw them in, I want to say 1989 at the Met Center in Minneapolis, but I can't remember what tour it was. To be fair.
I'm not that good to know that stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember. The first time I saw Dokken was at the Monsters of Rock in '88, and that was at the Metrodome, which was the worst venue for any concert.
He's a very kind type of laid back kind of dude. As I remember, he's had very bad luck with relationships. I do remember Don Dokken. Few divorces. He had a lot of relationship problems. But yeah, we opened up for him at Harpo's Concert Theater in '89. But we opened up for lots of pretty well-known bands. Another band, Savage Grace. Ever heard of Savage Grace?
It sounds familiar.
But anyway, yeah, it was when I was in school, high school. I took many art classes, drafting classes, music classes, and on the weekends I worked at a record store for 3 years. So on the weekends I'd work at a record store, and for some extra income. And I learned the skills of how to run a record store, and so that's where I started getting all my knowledge about bands and everything. And then, like I said, I skipped art school and went to the bars, because at the age of 6, my dad had bought me my first electric guitar, my first Fender guitar, and a little Marshall amp, and I started playing guitar when I was 6. And at the age of 6, 7 years old, I was listening to Black Sabbath, Mott the Hoople, the Yardbirds, Blue Oyster Cult.
All the good classics. I remember listening to AM radio when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and hearing like the Eagles and Billy Joel and just like Led Zeppelin and that kind of stuff. And holy crap, I was just like, this is absolutely amazing. Like ELO and a lot of those Toto, and all of those, early rock bands and the arena rock stuff. And I just fell in love with it. I was a child, but I knew that I was going to probably be a rocker most of my life.
Right. So when I picked up that guitar, it's like it changed me forever, pretty much.
Mhm.
It's like and I was taking my brothers and sisters' albums and going up in the attic. I remember, and I'd be listening to Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. I take my brothers and sisters' vinyl, and they're like, Jerry, where's our Led Zeppelin albums? Where's the Who? Where did all our vinyl go? It's up in the attic, with the stereo up there. So that was my escape from the dysfunctional type of family I grew up with back then.
Well, it's funny because I remember my brother and I, we had gotten like a 45. There was a house in our neighborhood at Halloween that would hand out 45s for Halloween. And we had gotten a 45 of a Kiss, a song. I can't remember which one at that time. Maybe it was Detroit Rock City. But we went out and bought the vinyl for, Kiss Alive and Destroyer. And we used to play it over and over and over. And my brother always wanted to be, Paul Stanley, and he'd paint his face. And we would listen to Kiss all the time. And it was just like, that was just the coolest thing ever was Kiss back then, and
oh yeah, when I was a kid, I was playing the Kiss pinball machine.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I actually one Halloween when I was a little kid, I had a Kiss Halloween costume. I think it was Gene Simmons. Just a little kid dressed up like Gene Simmons for Halloween. I was the talk of the neighborhood.
Keeper's talking about Ozzy Osbourne, and I was a big Black Sabbath fan, but as it's relevant to today's show, I preferred the Black Sabbath era with Dio over Ozzy. I mean, they're two very separate things, but Dio was like my Uber. I loved everything about Ronnie James Dio, so his era of Black Sabbath was definitely my favorite.
But
What's truth?
I just grew up. It's all my dad's fault for buying me that red guitar, that red Fender guitar, and that portable Marshall amp. But I was just Mott Hoople, the Yardbirds, the Moody Blues, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all at the age of 6. And then I started as I grew older. On the weekends, I'd work at a record store, and I did that for a good 3 years, and then earned a art scholarship for graphic arts. I was going to be an illustrator.
No interest in doing that now, even as an adult?
Not really. I haven't drawn in quite a while, but I used to design and do abstract work. Always designing ships and cars and designing watches and very technical type of stuff I used to do back in the day. But and you can probably blame my mom too, because back in the 70s, I was born in 67, so back in the early 70s when Kiss came out and stuff, she used to drop me off at the local bar with all these quarters, and just so she would go get her hair done. Okay, she'd go get her hair done probably on a Friday or Saturday, and she dropped me off at the bar with a ton of quarters, a bag of chips, and a pop. And there you go, buddy. I let the bouncer know. I let the bar owner know that I'm getting my hair done, and you'll be safe with him. So, the barmaid used to flirt with me and stuff. 7 years old, 7, 8 years old.
And you're playing the Kiss pinball machine.
And I'm playing the Kiss pinball machine, playing the jukebox, just loving it. Just started in the bars as a little kid. But you can blame my mom and dad for all this stuff. I just went in the wrong direction after high school. I just went to the bar. So forget art school, too boring for me. I wanted to see and feel the action. And
I think we all kind of went that way too. I mean, I didn't pursue my college education either, because I just wanted to live life and go do music and just be a part of that scene. So
Right on. Dilho is in the house. Much love. So probably enough about me. Um, so your first concert was
Van Halen.
Van Halen '84, and then you went on to Iron Maiden.
Yep. I saw so many concerts back in the day. It's so I have a board back behind this bookshelf that's got concert tickets on it, and it's full
Oh,
of all the
beautiful.
shows that I've seen in over the years. And I probably have boxes more that I couldn't even keep count of who I have seen and when, because that's what we did. We'd save up our money. You know, we go wait in line for wristbands. We call Ticketmaster or wherever, or go wait in line, get tickets, and then we go to shows, and we'd see 4 or 5, 6 of them every summer. You know, travel
Sure.
around the state or go into Wisconsin to, you know, because Alpine Valley always had the good concerts.
Do you care to show us your Funko Iron Maiden dolls?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I got a ton of them.
Would you like to show us your some of your Iron Maiden collection?
Oh, well, I can't move my laptop, but I can at least show you the pops. I've got them. I've got a whole bunch of them.
I think they're like $100 a piece.
You know, honestly, I don't know how much he paid for them. He ordered them pre-sale.
Iron Maiden. There's Eddie.
There's my Eddie, one of them.
Oh my.
That's the Peace of Mind one. And then there's your other one. Your other. They've got the little stickers on them, so you can't really see the face on that one.
Still sealed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, these are all brand new, sealed. There's your Number of the Beast, Eddie, for Killers.
Oh, okay. So they're all Eddie dolls.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought there would be like Bruce Dickinson, all the members of the band.
Nope, they're all Eddies.
Those are awesome. Thank you for showing those. Those are cool.
Yeah, this entire bookshelf is all Maiden stuff. I mean, you talk about collectibles, man. I have all of them. I mean, my whole world, it revolves around them. Little known fact, the top half of my back is actually tattooed. There's an Eddie from the album cover of Brave New World is tattooed across my back. Shoulder to shoulder, from the middle of my back up, is all one big tattoo.
That's a diehard fan right there.
It's my life, yeah. And it was funny because my mom was always like, you know, when I was a teenager, she was like, oh, that's the devil's music, blah, blah, blah. You're going to grow out of it. And I never did. It wasn't a phase for me. Music is my life. It has
well
been
to
my
you.
life.
Yeah, well to you of earth and sea, for the devil knows the time
Sends
is
the
short.
beast with wrath because he knows the time is short.
Let who will understand the reckon the number of the beast part. It's a human number. Its number is 666.
Now break into the intro.
Yeah, I know.
I just saw them October 25th here in Greensboro because I moved from the Midwest to North Carolina in 2017. And I came back from vacation in Minnesota just to see that show in October. And so I got to see the new album and all of the new, their stage show is just incredible. There's nothing like them on the planet.
Yeah, very, very good band. See, they were my first concert too. For me, Iron Maiden and Twisted Sister at Cobo Arena or Cobo or Joe Louis Arena.
And that was for Number of the Beast, wasn't it?
That was Power Slave Tour.
Oh, was that Power Slaves?
And that was my first concert. I won those tickets off the radio, the local radio channel. And so I got to see Twisted Sister and Iron Maiden at Joe Louis Arena in 1984, I believe. It was the fall of '84. And boy, did that place smell like weed. I mean, it was full of weed. But I probably got a contact high. My first concert, of course, is Iron Maiden and Twisted Sister. But they were free tickets. I used to win free tickets all the time off the radio stations. And then,
I tried. I never won free tickets. I used to have to pay for mine. But back then, you could go to a concert for $15.
Sure.
You know, now it's anywhere from 50 to 200, depending on where you want to sit, unless you do general admission. So,
But what
yeah,
an
Dill Hall. Attaboy.
but what a
Oh, here we go. Trolls. Gotta love trolls.
oh, I'm sorry, Dilho. Um, yeah, sorry about that. Uh, it's rare. It's rare I have company, and it's rare I have trolls. So let's see what Dilho has to say. I left alone. My mind was blank. I needed time to think. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Maybe I can, um, from my end, I can block that user.
You can.
Okay. I've never done this before. So block that user. Okay. I just did that. So, and Dilho is doing a shout out. But yeah, and then after that, I won tickets to see Rush. It was the summer of '85. I saw Rush in Marillion. I don't know if you ever heard of Marillion, but
I have.
right. So lots of free tickets throughout my teenage years um, to see these bands. Um, thank you for showing us the Eddie dolls. I didn't realize they were all Eddies. I thought they were all Bruce Dickinson and
Yeah,
boy,
I don't think they actually have pops of the band members. They just have the Eddies. Primarily, that's what most of their merchandising is done, is all Eddies.
and boy, did Bruce Dickinson really save that band.
I agree.
Lori, do you know this person?
Who?
Lori is in the back. Lori husband, hus Husbandi. She is backstage, and I don't know Lori.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Probably a troll.
We'll leave that alone, and we'll continue moving forward here. She's gone. Um, private chat. Did you put something in the private chat?
I did not. That's a troll. Whoever grabbed the StreamYard link.
Lori husbands died of cancer, not COVID.
Okay.
That's in the private chat.
Yeah, I see it. Just ignore it. It's garbage.
Sorry about that. It's a bit rocky up here on stage, isn't it?
Ah,
Um,
haters will
but
hate.
yeah, but yeah, Bruce Dickinson really saved Iron Maiden coming in at the right time. Um, you know, tremendous energy, power voice, very powerful voice.
Agree.
Um, so anything else? Let's go over. Let's skip the bar talk, and let's skip the.
You gonna go to Dokken?
We're gonna do
Rocking
the
with Dokken?
Rockin' with Dokkin. 29 minutes into the show. Lost for Words.
BRB?
Lost for Words has a meatloaf in the oven.
Yep,
Thank
I'm taking it out right now.
Thank y'all for showing up. Lightning strikes again. Special guest, Lost for Words, big Iron Maiden fan, talking about hard rock and heavy metal here on Lightning
All right.
Strikes again.
I was back.
And Lost for Words is back, and we are going to do the biography, discography of Dokken.
Sounds good to me.
Get our minds off of everything here. So here's my notes. You can find a couple early Dokken and Dio music videos down below in my description. If you'd
Great
like,
choices.
Into the Fire is like Dokken, Into the Fire. That, Tooth and Nail, that was my first album by Dokken I ever bought.
I think mine too.
Yes, Paris is Burning. That's off the first album, I think. I got a couple of their albums in my playlist down below. Um,
When I lose sound, oh no, you're not talking.
oh, I'm just looking up for my notes. That's all.
No worries. I'm waiting. Yeah, I think Tooth and Nail was probably my first Dokken album as well.
Thanks for the love and thanks for the company. Lost for words.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it to the fullest. It's very rare I have company.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come by.
Um, all right, the biography, discography of Dokken. I'll do my best. Active 1970s to 2010s. Formed in 1978 in Los Angeles, California. Pop rock, hard rock, heavy metal, pop metal, arena rock, hair metal. Group members Don Dokken, George Lynch, Mick Brown, Jeff Pilson, Reb Beck. Reb Beck.
Beach.
Wow.
Red Beach.
He went off and did Winger.
He did.
And Jonathan Levin, the members of some of the members of Dokken. Remember, I'm a ghetto music channel, so bear with me on the on the reading here. You know,
You're doing great.
I'm from Southeast Michigan, so welcome to the Motor City.
Motor City.
At a time when the charts were ruled by pop metal acts, Dokken were a major attraction throughout the 1980s, with vocalist Don Dokken's captivating stage presence and guitarist George Lynch high energy style. The band combined rockers such as Kiss of Death and power ballads such as Alone Again in order to create a number of best-selling albums. Dokken's roots date back to the late 70s when George Lynch, along with drummer Mick Brown, teamed up with Don Dokken to form The Boys in 1981. Don moved to Germany and was signed to Carey Records, Carerre, Carey Records. The band, now simply known as Dokken, recorded and released its first studio album, Breaking the Chains, in 1983. While the record failed to achieve a decent chart position in the United States, the group was immensely popular in Europe. After a tour in Germany, Dokken were signed to Elektra Records, and Jeff Pilson became their first official bassist. In 1984, the band released Tooth and Nail, which featured the hit songs Into the Fire and Just Got Lucky and Alone Again. With heavy MTV and radio airplay, Dokken found themselves topping the charts worldwide, and Tooth and Nail eventually sold over 1 million copies in the U.S. alone.
It's a lot of albums.
Following a tour with the Scorpions, the group recorded Under Lock and Key in 1985, which has similar success due to the hits In My Dreams and It's Not Love. In 1987, Dokken released Back for the Attack, which featured Dream Warriors, a track that had written as the subtitle for the third Nightmare on Elm Street film. The music video, which included scenes of the band interacting with the movie's characters, was their most popular ever, and Back for the Attack became Dokken's third record to reach platinum status. Their subsequent tour resulted in a live compilation, Beast from the East, which was released shortly before the band broke up in 1989 due to Don Dokken and George Lynch's creative differences. After the disbanding of Dokken, Don Dokken pursued a solo career, and we opened up for him back in the day. With Up, and his first debut solo album was Up from the Ashes, and George Lynch formed the Lynch Mob, releasing an album in 1990. Both releases failed to chart. The band reunited in 1992, signing with Columbia Records and releasing 1995's Dysfunctional, which was met with harsh reviews and poor sales. Tensions once again seemed to hover over Dokken as they recorded the live acoustic release, One Live Night, for the CMC label. In 1997, the band released Shadow Life, which was met with a similar response to their past two recordings. In 1998, George Lynch left a second time to reunite the Lynch Mob and was replaced with Winger guitarist Rob Beach for 1999's Erase the State. This was followed in 2000 by another concert record, Live from the Sun, which captured the Beach. I believe I'm pronouncing his name right.
The Beach, yeah.
Which captured the Beach lineup at Anthem's Sun Theater. Beach left the group and was replaced by John Norum, Norum, and the group recorded Long Way Home for release in the spring of 2002. In 2003, ex-Warlock guitarist Jonathan Levin and ex-Ted Nugent and Yngwie Malmsteen bassist Barry Sparks joined the band, resulting in the release of Hell to Pay. The following year, Dokken returned to the studio in 2008 for the well-received Lightning Strikes Again, which proved to be their highest charting outing in years due to a scheduling conflict. 2012's Broken Bones was the first Dokken release to not feature drummer and co-founder Mick Brown. Session drummer Jimmy DeGrasso, DEGRASSO, filled in, but he returned to the East Live 2016, a concert album that was released in 2018 and also included George Lynch and Jeff Pilson. There you have it, the biography of Dokken. Special guest today, Lost for Words, is in the house.
Thanks for having me.
Special guest here at Beat After Beat. Very rare to have company. The discography of Dokken, 1982's Breaking the Chains on Elektra Records, 2.5 stars. 1984's Tooth and Nail, Elektra, 5 stars. Under Lock and Key, Elektra, 4.5 stars. 1987's Back for the Attack, Elektra, 3 stars. Back for the Attack, Burning Like a Flame. I love that song.
Good tune.
1988's Beast from the East on Elektra, 4.5 stars. 1995's Dysfunctional on Columbia Sony Music Distribution, 2 stars. 1995's One Live Night on CMC International, 2.5 stars. 1997 Shadow Life on CMC International, 2.5 stars. 1999's Erase the State or Erase the Slate, CMC International, 2 stars. 2000's Live from the Sun, CMC International, 2 stars. 2002's Long Way Home, CMC International, Sanctuary Records, 1.5 stars. 2003's Japan Live, 1995, Sanctuary CMC International, 2.5 stars. 2004's Hell to Pay, Sanctuary Records, 2.5 stars. 2005's Live, Direct Source Records, 3 stars. 2007 From Conception Live, 1981 on Rhino Records, 4 stars. 2007's Lightning Strikes Again, and I did not get the title, the name of this show from that album. I didn't even realize that Dokken came out with how talk about what ironic.
Yeah.
What would you say? Synchronicities.
Sure.
I believe in synchronicities quite a bit. I did not realize Dokken came out with a Lightning Strikes Again 2007 album. 3.5 stars. 2011's The Anthems, Music Avenue, The Short for Music Records, no stars. 2012's Broken Bones, Frontier Records, no stars. 2018's Return to the East Live in 2016 on Metal Frontier Records, 0 stars. There you have it. The biography, discography of Dokken. You can find early videos of Dokken in my playlist down below. Much love to the fullest. I did get Lightning Strikes Again from a Dokken song, but I did not know they came out with an album called Lightning Strikes until now.
I didn't either.
2007's Lightning Strikes Again, Dokken, but I did get that title from one of their songs. Just like Lost for Words got her name from Iron Maiden track 3 Power Slave album. I thought it would be pretty cool to do this show, bringing back the hard rock heavy metal as we remember it back in the day. So many things have gone on in the world within the last 3 years, and people have seemed to have forgotten the good times and going to concerts and the way things used to be. So hopefully this show will bring back some memories and interest in what I'm presenting. Just bringing back some memories of the good times. We are live here in the Motor City, 41 rocking degrees, cloudy. Lost for Words is in the house, and her meatloaf is out of the oven.
It is. It's resting.
And it is resting. And again, last night, breaking news. We lost another member in the music industry. He recently was on tour with Johnny Depp and Johnny Depp's band. And his name was Jeff Beck.
He was a legend too.
And at the age of 78, he died of bacterial meningitis. Jeff Beck, rest in peace. A huge guitar legend, up there with Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Carlos Santana, Jimi Hendrix. Yes. And then he recently was on, like I said, was on tour with Johnny Depp, came out with an album with Johnny Depp and his super band. And that was breaking news on last night's show at Beat After Beat. He lived a good life, I believe. He did everything he ever wanted to in his life, and he was a big hot rodder. Really, really into the muscle cars. Um, just enjoyed his life. But yes, just breaking news once again. Jimmy, um, just breaking news. Rest in peace. Jeff Beck died at the age of 78. 6 people in the house, 46 minutes in the show, and we are live. Special guest appearance by Lost for Words.
Thank you.
Appreciate the love to the fullest. Let's take a little break, go in the chat. Up next, we do have the headliner, Ronnie James Dio, rest in peace. We got Dio. You can check out a few early music videos of Ronnie James Dio down in my description below. Rainbow in the Dark and We Rock are the music videos. That just gets me pumped up. The We Rock just gets you really pumped up, and you just want to kick somebody's ass and something like that. Somewhere down one of the alleys here in downtown Detroit. So we got the headliner, Ronnie James Dio. Rainbow in the Dark. Pizza Demon is in the house. Much love to you. How do you feel, Lost for Words? Are you still excited, or
I'm always excited. I'm doing
good.
great. I hope you are.
Yeah, I got the EMS parked outside waiting for me after the show.
Kickstart your heart.
Yeah, we got EKG. No, I think I'm handling this pretty well. I just want you to feel comfortable, and I want this to be a good show. Let's see where I left off. Going in the chat.
Say hi to Parasolo, Pizza Demon. No, it is not vodka in my cup. Sorry.
Wildlife Wanda's in the house.
Hi, Wanda.
Just catching up to the chat. I'm sorry. Parasolo, Pizza Demon. Reminds me of Mosh Pits. Jeff Beck, legend. Rest in peace, amazing guitarist.
He was.
How do you feel, Parasolo? Are you okay? Are you ready to ghost hunt? Parasolo's been sick for the last couple of weeks, really bad.
A lot of people have been getting sick lately. It's that time of year.
Yeah, well, with my chronic pain and diabetes, sick doesn't even, it's not even in my vocabulary anymore.
I get it.
I can I can get the flu, or and that's what my type 2 diabetes does to me also. It every day I feel like I have a cold. Having type 2 diabetes, I always feel like I have a cold, or I'm run down. And last week I overdid it on the sugar.
Oof.
And I got out of bed and my head started spinning around super fast, and I crashed into my wall. I crashed right into my wall, and then it happened again, spun around super fast, almost dropped to the ground. They didn't have the sweet and low at the supermarket, so I bought the regular pure cane sugar.
Oof.
Okay, and so I had a couple of the little Debbie's on top of that. That's a huge no. That's just all sugar. So
right.
my head just literally spun around super fast, and oh no, don't do that. But they didn't have my sweet and low, but that's no excuse. But every day I do feel like I have a cold, and I do eat as properly as I can, as healthy as I can. It's just, you get so tired of being sick every day. And I'm not, and people say, you're not as sick as you think you are, Gerald. And so, okay, I'm not as sick as I think I am, but I do the best I can. I'm running 4 shows a week, um, putting them all together for you guys. I hope you all are enjoying. My head does that, and I just stopped drinking.
Right?
I'm finally starting to feel much better now, Beat. Thank you, buddy. I hate winter months. I'm hoping to get going with my next thing next week. Next visit to
The Eliza.
Elza Furnace. Eliza Furnace.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
So I hope your meatloaf doesn't get cold because we got one more round to go.
Nope, I just made it so that it would be ready for dinner.
7 people in the house.
Thank you.
51 minutes into the show. I would like to get somebody up on my panel at least once a week, starting from here on out. I'm working on this one guy. He lives in Missouri, and he does visual art.
Cool.
He's got beats in the background, and he has and he does graphic arts and combines his beats and his graphic arts and shows it. His name is Immortal Images, I believe. He's in my playlist. He's in my featured playlist. Immortal Images, I believe his name is. Nice guy. I've been talking to him, trying to get him up on the panel. I'm trying to get all kinds of local artists, national artists, musicians all around the world, trying to get a community going in the art and music work field and musical interest. And I
That'll be
believe his
fun to
name
follow.
is I believe his name is Immortal Images.
I'll have to check it out.
He's in my featured playlist.
All right.
Trying to get him. Him and I have been talking. And he thinks it's really cool, and he thinks it's an honor for me to bring him up. He's a visual artist. He does his own graphic arts and beats in the background.
Cool.
He's next on the list of special guests. Funny, but ever since I had the dreaded orgy, my chest ain't been the same. Sorry to hear that, Pizza. I heard a lot of people have a long haul after having that. Thank you, LOSFER. I used to call you Lucifer Words.
I have lots of nicknames: Lobster, Lucifer,
But I didn't
Losser,
know,
Loafer.
and so that's my vocabulary. So excuse me for pronouncing things the wrong way. When I say modern, Jerry, you don't pronounce modern. Um,
A lot of people though they just assume, they don't stop and read the word Losfer. But if you know, you know, right? I mean, if you knew it's from Maiden, then you know.
Well, yeah, that's like, wow, Lucifer's words.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Who is this lady? Well, you've been bringing in the crowd, Philosopher Words.
I'm trying. I got trolls too, so good on them. Hi, haters.
Are they still? I don't see them in my StreamYard chat. I don't see anymore.
We blocked them. They're gone.
I hope it gets better, Pizza.
I hope so too. Don't think LOSFER is ever lost for words. No, I'm definitely not a loss for words. It's a really good ironic play on words, but it is what it is.
I've had PPR put your channel link in the chat.
Thank you. That wasn't necessary, but I appreciate it.
I don't know how to do that yet. I really don't know how to do that yet.
No
Uh,
worries. No worries.
I'm learning on the daily. But I went to your channel and I'm like doing a right click on your channel trying to copy it, and it wouldn't work. So I don't know where to go to.
It's all good.
But anyway, I'm doing the best I can. I got 4 shows every week. Putting together 4 shows every week. Um, so much pure solo. Okay, 55 minutes in the show. And where did your name go? Wait a minute, wait. Where did your name go? There they are. All right, I'm starting to panic now.
No panic. No panic. How long do you usually run your show?
Um, well, I try to do it. Well, it all depends on the crowd, and
Oh, thanks, Wanda.
and usually I get 1 or 2 people in the crowd. I last for about an hour, but you know, with you on the panel, it's been a steady 6 to 10 people,
Yeah, it's
and
cool today. Thank you.
and Roadhog Kennel and Pugface Media have been promoting my channel quite a bit. They've been sending their troops um, over to my channel when I go live, and sending their people over here to support me. But it's usually quiet here. They call me the Lone Beat. Somebody called me the Lone Beat.
The Lone Beat.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger, the Lone Beat. I'm a one-man show, and the soundboard I got going, and research and putting it all together the best I can for
It's a lot of
everybody.
work.
People don't realize that, and then we have your quotes and your your shorts going on, and I appreciate those because they all make sense to me, and I agree with all your stuff you put out.
It's a different direction. It's not music oriented, but it's more geared towards assisting people to navigate the social medias, because there's not enough people to support the goodness that goes on, and everybody's really invested in the negative stuff. Nobody needs that. Nobody has time for that.
I've always been a drama-free channel and kind of a laid-back, relaxed channel. I washed my hands twice today, so that's pretty good. And a fresh cup of coffee.
I'm all about the coffee.
Wildlife Wanda, positive healing energy to all. I got you, Wanda. Bad beat. Bad beat.
Hey, popcorn. Oh, bad beat. That was because you were talking about your sugar when you ate all that sugar.
Yeah, crazy. What a terrifying experience. It's like somebody knocked me across the jaw, and I just spun around super fast, and I almost dropped to the ground. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get rid of that pure cane sugar and the little Debbie's, which I did.
Stop eating them little Debbies.
But
Gotta love them oatmeal cream pies, buddy.
it's a dangerous area to flirt with when you have diabetes. Trying to catch up to the chat. Don't think LOSFER is ever lost for words.
No, sir.
Just trying to keep up your soul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wanda. Thank you for putting her channel in link in the chat. I think lots of words is a great way to say I can't believe all the crap I'm seeing. For solo. TWP is in the house. Much love.
Hi, Christina Bell.
You know, in the beginning, I thought that it was that Laura, Lay. I thought she was in the backstage. Laura Lay,
Yeah, no,
not her.
Mm-mm.
It was a different Laura, I guess. Who mentioned food? Yoho, Christina.
Who mentioned food? I made a meatloaf pizza.
A meatloaf at noon today.
You gotta cook when you can.
Is it 1 o'clock your time?
Yeah,
It
I'm
is.
Eastern time. East Coast. Represent.
Okay, I caught up with the chat. 8 people in the house.
Thank you.
They're all here to see the lovely Laura, lost for words.
Thanks, PPR. Not plugging my channel. I'm here for Beat. I'm here to help Beat with his music.
Meatloaf dribble.
I forgot to put ketchup on it though. I'll have to redo that.
You got to redo it now. Put it back in the oven for 15 minutes.
Yep. Well, I was busy. I put it in the oven and I was like, oh yeah, I got this thing with Beat After Beat today. So
Yeah, I was kind of tossing and turning last night, wondering what am I going to ask you and stuff. And
hey, George, how are you, my friend?
Mr. Bean.
George is good, folks. You ready for some Dio?
All right, I'm off the chat
All right.
for now. Sorry about that.
No worries.
This is probably going to be a long one here for the Dio.
Yeah, he's got quite an extensive history when you start out from the early Elf days and moving up to Rainbow and Black Sabbath and then his solo stuff and then reuniting with Black Sabbath. I mean, phew, you know, he's got a 40-year history, if not longer, of music.
Yeah, speaking of Black Sabbath, Ozzy and Sharon are leaving California and they're going back to England.
It doesn't surprise me.
They are tired of all the crime in Los Angeles, and they're tired of the property taxes in Los Angeles, and that's why they're leaving and they're going
Yeah,
back
it's expensive to live out there.
to England. So yeah, Ronnie James Dio, classic heavy metal band formed by Ronnie James Dio, headbanging icon and frontman. He used to be his first band was Elf.
I actually have one of those on vinyl.
Very rare to have.
Mm-hmm.
Dio used to be in Elf, Rainbow, and Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
1980s to 2010s, formed in 1982 in Cortland, New York. Dio disbanded in 2010. Pop rock, hard rock, heavy metal. Ronnie James Dio, Jimmy.
Bean.
Thank you. Vinny Alpies.
Appice, yeah.
Appice went on and did Blue Murder.
Yep, and his brother Carmine is a drummer of his own.
Carmine, I'm sorry. Carmine went off. His brother Carmine went off and did Blue Murder.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Goldie, Scott Warren, Rudy Zaros.
Sarzo. Hmm.
Sarsos, thank you.
He's from Quiet Riot originally.
Quiet
He played
Riot.
with Ozzy, and he was in the original Blizzard of Oz lineup with Ozzy and
Randy Rhoads.
Randy Rhoads. Yep.
Vivian Campbell went off and did his thing.
Def Leppard. Hmm.
Jeff Peelson again went off and did Dokken. Jerry Best, Rowan Robertson.
Yeah, he did the Lock Up the Wolves album. He was 17 when he got that gig. It was amazing.
Warren DeMarti,
Rat. Mm-hmm.
and Jakey Lee went off and did his thing. Quite a few members of Dio. The biography of Dio. For a brief spell during the mid 80s, the heavy metal quintet Dio were one of the top U.S. concert attractions, boasting one of the most over-the-top stage acts of all time, loaded with props and special effects, lasers, explosions, and giant dragons, etc.
That was my first Dio show ever. Was from Sacred Heart with the big dragon. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Bringing the medieval times on stage, like Yngwie Malmsteen. So I went back to when I was a little kid and started playing guitar. Jimi Hendrix was my hero back then, and at 6 years old, 7 years old, and I used to wear my wear bandanas and have it down here and stuff, and just hang in there the Jimi Hendrix book, But as I grew older, Yngwie became my hero. So for many decades, Malmsteen and I've seen Malmsteen at the Royal Oak Music Theater back in 84, 85. I saw him at the Royal Oak Music Theater.
I actually saw Yngwie Malmsteen with Doro Pesch and Dio at the Roseland Ballroom in New York City back in the early 2000s.
Oh, so many memories. And see, that's what I want this channel to be, bringing back the memories, the feel-good times, the party times. So I'm gonna shut up and continue to do my show because
I'll try not to interject too much. Dio is everything. I love him.
Oh God, wow. So I'm trying to, and that's my diabetes too. I have a hard time reading. My vision goes in and out. So I don't know if this is a curse or not, but
baby steps, right?
The type 2 affects the vision as well. So yes, laser effects, explosions, a giant dragon, etc. Group's leader was singer Ronnie James Dio, who had previously become acquainted with the metal masses as the frontman of Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow from 1975 to 1978 and Black Sabbath from 1979 to 1982. Come the early 80s, Ronnie James was ready to finally head out on his own, forming Dio and recruiting a stellar backing band consisting of a few former band members, ex-Rainbow bassist Jimmy Bain, and ex-Black Sabbath drummer Vinny Alpice, Carmen Alpice's brother, as LOSFER words just said. In addition to ex-Sweet Savage guitar shredder Vivian Campbell. Lyrically, the group would retain the same subject matter that Ronnie James specialized in with his previous outfits: Dungeons and Dragons, swords and sorcery, and but musically, Dio were more melodically based than Rainbow or Sabbath. The group scored a hit right off the bat with 1983's debut release, Holy Diver, which spawned such popular MTV videos as Rainbow in the Dark, as
BRB.
well as its title track. For the sophomore effort, 1984's The Last in Line, the band expanded its lineup to include keyboardist Claude Chanel, as the album would become the highest hit of Dio's career on the strength of another MTV-approved video for the album's title track, and the group became an arena headliner. Although Dio's next release, 1985's Sacred Heart, was commercially successful, Campbell and had become disillusioned by the group's direction and split from the group. A year later, just prior to Campbell's exit, the entire Dio band helped organize Hearing Aid, an all-star assembly of heavy metal artists that recorded tracks called Stars, which helped fight world hunger. A subsequent album was issued as well, collecting previously unreleased live tracks from a few of the day's top hard rock acts. Former Jafria guitarist Craig Goldie took Campbell's place, resulting in such releases in 1986's live EP Intermission and 1987's Dream Evil, which retained the group's headbanging audience but failed to expand upon as its previous releases had. By the 1990s, Lock Up the Wolves, Ronnie James Dio was the only original member of Dio left in attendance, as the band's lineup continued to fluctuate throughout the 90s, as such releases as 1984's Strange Highway, 1996's Angry Machine, and 1998's Inferno. Last in Live, Ronnie James Dio took a brief break from Dio in 1992 to rejoin Black Sabbath for a lone release. Thank you so much. You're hired. And Lots for Words is hired.
I know everything, Dio, so I got this.
Well, that completes the show, everybody. Thank you so much.
No.
I'm just kidding. Well, thank you for adding those things in. In 2000, a pair of Dio releases emerged. First was Dio's first new studio album in 4 years, the concept album Magica, which saw past members Bain and Goldie return to the group, as well as a 16-track compilation titled The Very Beast of Dio. His medieval-themed metal returned 2 years later with the Killing the Dragon album arrived in the spring of 2002. The album was a serious endeavor, but Dio also learned to make fun of this image. After years of defending it, inviting comedy duo Tenacious D to star in the video for Push, and even including the clip on the fail re-release of Killing the Dragon. In the 2000s, Dio the Man and the band returned with the studio album Masters of the Moon and a live Evil or Divine, but by 2006 the band had been sidelined upon the announcement that Ronnie James Dio would be joining Heaven and Hell, a group reuniting the singer with his late-era Sabbath brother Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Vinny Appice. and named after the first Sabbath recording released in 1980 that featured him as frontman. Heaven and Hell tour in the late 2000s also released a live from Radio City Music Hall and a Studio W No recording by November of 2009. It was announced that the singer was suffering from stomach cancer, and Heaven and Hell subsequently canceled their summer 2010 tour plans. Ronnie James Dio succumbed to the disease on May 16, 2010 in Houston, Texas. Ronnie James Dio passed away May 16, 2010 in Houston, Texas of stomach cancer. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. And going back to the Black Sabbath era, one album that I really like by Black Sabbath came out in '88 or '89 was and it had a different singer, Idol, Black Sabbath Idol. What was that album? Something Idol.
Crimson.
Something Idol. I don't know why I brought it up. It's just probably one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. Idol. Let me look that up.
I think that wasn't that Ian Gillan though, or was that Tony Martin as well? Headless Cross was Tony Martin.
It was Headless Cross, and then right after Headless Cross was
wasn't that Crimson Idol?
Or
am I thinking Wasp?
You're thinking Wasp.
Okay.
Just the guitar riffs on that album. I'm trying to look up that album. And then we'll finish up the show with the discography of Dio.
We'll be here another hour.
That's what happens, when you're dealing with a one-man show.
Well, he's got such a large library of music, so I mean, you really can't.
What was that Black Sabbath album? So as you said, that was
Eternal.
The Eternal Idol. The Eternal Idol, 1987. That was an amazing album. Very, very powerful, in your face, heavy metal. The Eternal Idol, Black Sabbath. So we are going to go ahead and go back to Dio, and I could probably talk forever. I think the more I talk, the more my ratings go down.
Oh, come on. I disagree. You got 12 in the chat right now, so you're doing great.
Well, you're the superstar. You're up in the lights.
I'm not that big of a deal.
Sure you are.
I just like music.
Back to Dio, and we are going to finish off the show with the discography. Now we're 19 minutes in the show, 11 people in the house. LOSFER Words guest appearance here today on
Thanks for having
BEAT. Thank you for showing up on time. Very rare I have company up on here on this panel. But thank you for taking the time and your time, and hopefully you're enjoying the show.
It's been a pleasure.
I am a one-man army, and I do put on 4 shows a week dealing with my diabetes and my chronic pain. I just try to keep moving forward. and presenting these shows. And it's really all I have. Um, I have no other life beyond this. Uh, Besides trying to take care of myself best I can. So 1983's Holy Diver, Warner Brothers, Reprise Records, 4.5 stars. 1984's The Last in Line, Warner Brothers, 3.5 stars. 1985 Sacred Heart, Lost for Words, went and saw Dio
It's my first
at
tour.
the Sacred Heart concert. 1985 Warner Brothers, 2.5 stars. 1986's Intermission on Spectrum Music, Warner Brothers, Polygram, Universal, 2.5 stars. 1987's Dream Evil Reprise, 4 stars. Lock Up the Wolves, 1990 Reprise, 3 stars. 1994 Strange Highways Reprise, 3 stars. 1996 Angry Machines on Spitfire Records, 2.5 stars. 1998's Inferno Last in Live on Spitfire Records, 4 stars. 2000 Magica, Spitfire Records, 4 stars. 2002's Killing the Dragon, Spitfire Records, 3 stars. 2004 Hit It, Lots for Words, 2004. 2004, where were you in 2004? I was listening to Dio, Master of the Moon on
Great
Sanctuary
album.
Records, 3 stars. 2006's Evil or Divine, live in New York City, Spitfire Records, 3 stars. Live in London, Hammersmith Apollo, 1993, no stars, no record label. Holy Diver, live, 3.5 stars, no date. Dio and Friends, Stand Up and Shout for Cancer.
I have that. It's a really good album.
Oh, really? There is no release date, and there is no stars for that last album.
I have it somewhere in here.
Here you have it, the discography of Ronnie James Dio. Rest in peace.
Oh, no, that's a different one. I have a different one. This one was done posthumously.
Oh, wow, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, if you could name off the bands that were in that.
Oh, let's see what I got.
Since you have it right there.
Yeah, this one is This Is Your Life, and this was done for him after, prior to that, 2014, for the Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund. Anthrax did a cover of Neon Nights. Tenacious D did The Last in Line. Adrenaline Mob did The Mob Rules. Corey Taylor, Jason Christopher, Christian Martucci, Roy Satchel. You'll know Corey Taylor from Slipknot. They did Rainbow in the Dark. Hailstorm did Straight Through the Heart. Motorhead with Bill Byford did Starstruck, or Biff, I'm sorry. Biff is from Saxon. The Scorpions did Temple of the King. Doro Pesh did a cover of Egypt, The Chains Are On, and Killswitch Engage did Holy Diver. That's on disc 1. And on disc 2, Glenn Hughes, Craig Goldie, Rudy Sarzo, Scott Warren, and Simon Wright all did Catch the Rainbow. Oni Logan, Jimmy Bain, and Rowan Robertson and Brian Tishy did I. Rob Halford, Doug Aldrich, Vinny Appice, Jeff Pilson, and Scott Warren did Man on the Silver Mountain. Metallica did a medley that featured A Light in the Black, Terror Woman, Stargazer, and Kill the King. And then Dio did This Is Your Life. They did it a remake of that. So that's what's on that. It's a really good disc.
You have the physical copy.
Yep, I do. It's got a whole bunch of, it's like a total gatefold, so it's got pictures.
There he is. The elf himself. Just a little elf. powerful voice for a little man. Thank you so much for sharing it with all of us.
When I met him in 1980, or I'm sorry, 1998. And he is actually only like 5 feet tall. He's really short, but he's pretty cool.
Thank you so much for showing that
You're welcome.
and sharing that. I appreciate that. I think we all appreciate your company here today.
Yeah, Ronnie was a pretty big influence in most of my life from growing up until now. So he was a pretty big deal to me. His music shaped and formed most of my life. So
yeah, usually music does.
It's the soundtrack for life. Gets you through the things that you don't think you can survive.
I made it through all that. See, that's what I'm about. They used to call me a bookworm in high school. You know, I'm always doing research, reading, and so I can go on and on and on. You know, with my notes, and that's probably why I have 4 shows a week, is because I have a passion for research and truth, and I'm the real deal. I put in my work.
That you do. You do a great job. Like I said, I've been watching your lightning strikes, and I dig it, and I love how you put everything together and give everybody the facts. So I was honored when you asked me to come visit.
Oh, I'm just just one big nerd.
I think we're all big nerds in our own right.
I may not be able to read very well. Believe it or not, in high school, I would get A's and B's in English. I even back in school, I played, I started playing bass guitar, and then I played saxophone.
Wow.
And so I started. So I was taking art classes and drafting classes, and then I had a swimming class, and that affected my saxophone playing. So my music director dropped me because I couldn't handle the power of playing that saxophone due to my swimming class. The swimming class really messed me up. And I was in men's glee club at one time. Uh, I was baritone, and they kicked me out because I was going into maturity at the time, and I was in men's vocals, men's glee club, and I believe I was 13 years old, and my voice was starting to change, and I went from baritone to below bass.
Oh, wow.
So the teacher says you need to find another class. Your voice is way too deep. But that was at 13 years old. But yeah, and then in high school, 10th grade, I took poetry class. I learned how to write songs. Um, I wrote 16 original songs, all copyrighted. Um, Used a few of those for the bands that I was in. So yeah, I learned how to write songs through my poetry class. So it just looks like year by year, as I was growing up from 6 years old on, I was headed towards that stage somehow. And it's somehow in the music industry, I was headed that way. Um, I did my best. I made a lot of mistakes. I chose a lot of wrong paths. Um, I should have listened to my parents and continued on with art school, because when it was almost time for me to graduate, they took me on. My parents took me on a tour at Center for Creative Studies in downtown Detroit. They showed me the dorm and everything, and I didn't listen to my parents, and I blew that career in the illustrations and graphic arts. I just went towards the stage. I wanted to be on that stage, and I've been in a lot of dumps, playing in the bars, a lot of dumps here in Detroit. Um, Had a lot of weird experiences, people inviting me into the bathroom to do mushrooms, and people handing me a mirror with lines of coke on them. Um, lots of bar fights. I've seen people get beat up, uh, mirrors cracked, and um, it's rough here. Used to be rough and playing in the bars in Detroit, but we all try to have a good time. Been at the Ritz. We played at the Ritz in Roseville, um, the Studio Lounge in Westland, the Token Lounge in Westland. Uh, we went up to um, Lansing, I believe, and we played at a bar in Lansing. And boy, these small towns, um, they welcome, you know these small town bars. They welcome city bands to come through. They
Oh yeah.
welcome. They love it. It brings them a lot of business.
Yep.
So people up north, we're happy to see us. Um, a lot of memories. We had an old, and I was always stuck driving. We had a old milk truck. It had bird nests inside of them, but we had an old had an oil problem. Always had to put oil in it, but an old milk truck, probably from the '60s. It had bird nests in it, but we used to load up all of our equipment into that old milk truck, and But I
Your
was
little
always
your little tour mobile.
and it was ugly green. It was just driving down the road and your engine smoking because you need a. And I was always stuck. Hey Jerry, you got the keys? Here you go. So yeah, we're going out to eat. You just take the truck on home to the studio. Um, Big times, but I could have had a career in illustration. Um, Used to go to the Detroit Art Institute a lot when I was in high school, and um, Patrick Nagel was one of my big influences. MC Escher, um, really into the details. Like I said, I used to design my own spaceships from the inside out, my own buildings. I used to design perspective drawing. Um, Designing my own watches from details from the inside out. Um, Had an IQ of 130.
You're a
Not,
smart
not,
man.
not. That was 10th grade. I mean, after I took that IQ test, they bumped me to 11th grade. They said, "You're done. You're no good in 10th grade. We're bumping you up to 11th grade. You got an IQ of 130." So I don't know what that meant at the time. I was only 16 years old. Um, but always been some kind of a nerd. Always in the library. That's where all the chicks had to find me. Um, uh,
You were in
that's
the library and I was out in the parking lot smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I accidentally, yeah, we actually had a bridge at our high school. We had all the heavy metalers and rockers would hang out under the bridge at our school and
Yep.
smoke cigarettes and everything. That's where the burnouts used to hang out.
Yep.
But I didn't really grow up like that. I grew up probably like as a new romantic, a punker type of dude. Um, I always look at my best for school. Always look at my best. Carried a briefcase to every class. Tight jeans, leather boots, leather boots, tight jeans, and a loose shirt. Walking down the school hallways
With
to
a
my
brief.
next class, and then one teacher had come up to me and said, I remember he said, "What class are you subbing today?" And I'm like, "No," and I'm like, "I'm not. I'm just a student, sir." He said, "Well, I saw the briefcase. You're the only one walking around these halls with a briefcase." So I always just try to present myself to be the best that I could. Even in high school, I looked my best. Um, but never really, always had high expectations, but never really achieved those levels that I wanted to go up to in life. Always something in life ripping you away from what you wanted to do, and but this is what I do now at 55 years old. Um, it is what it is. I don't even know where I'm at in the chat, but Gabriel Boo, what's up? Uh,
Bye, Pixie.
Pixie, much love.
Great to see you.
Sorry I can't keep up with everybody's chat. Um, Homeless in America, how you doing? Much love. Roadhog, Parasolo, Wildlife Wanda. I'll probably be here for another half hour reading the chat, and I'm not going to put you through that loss for words.
No worries.
But Blind Straight, much love.
We're talking about the price of eggs in the chat and getting some chickens.
Yeah. Gabriel, I'm in Illinois. Yes, Central Illinois. So I have a few days off. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I am off. I have no content available. New releases. I usually do my new release Tuesdays, and because it's the beginning of the year, the first going on the second week of the new year, there is no new releases. There's nothing to announce.
Right.
So, and then Bio Mondays, I just don't have anything lined up. I've been monitoring myself because I dropped, without telling the doctor, I dropped my metformin from 2,000 to 1,000. So this is my 5th day, and I've done this by myself. So I've been monitoring myself and taking care of my cat, taking care of the apartment, living the bachelor dream, I guess. But my
if you ever make it down this way, I'll make you a meatloaf.
So I'm going to give you the honors. We are going into the letter C next week for lightning strikes.
No, I think aren't we doing E? You did C last week.
No, we did A, B, and C. I did my first release. My world premiere was on Halloween, lightning strikes. I did my world premiere. I did Anvil and Anthrax, and then for the holiday, the Christmas Day, I did Brittany Fox, Babylon AD, Bang Tango, Bullet Boys, and Bonfire. and
Wow.
that was Christmas Day. I did five bands. So that was B,
Then you did Cinderella
and then I
and
did
Crazy
Cinderella,
Licks last week.
Crazy Luck, yes, and then Dio and Dokken, and then yes, we're in E. So I was thinking maybe Exodus,
Good band.
and Extreme.
Oh, there you go. Thrash and not thrash.
Yeah, thrash metal. But I'm giving you the honors to call that out. But that's what I was going to bring up next week.
Sounds
Exodus
good to
and
me.
Extreme. Um, how is your guys' age? So I haven't been to the supermarket in a while. Organic, just because it's organic. 12 dozen here in California.
That's
1276.
expensive.
So what are your plans for the rest of the day? Lost for words.
Just working. I work from home, so I'll be working. And then tomorrow I work, and then Saturday I'm meeting a friend for coffee, and then I work Sunday. Just doing the grind. That's all I do.
I appreciate what you put up in the shorts and everything. I read everything that you are.
Thank you.
I listen to everything you say. I really take it in, and I breathe that in.
Thank you.
And I know
It's not
I
for
know
everyone, but
it isn't, but I know boundaries is a big word for a lot of people.
it
Um,
is.
Boundaries, and if you don't pay attention to your boundaries, and I've learned that from my life's experience, they will get you in trouble if you don't keep your guard up.
For sure.
Boundaries are very hard, very challenging to keep up.
Yep, I try to just be as transparent as possible and make sure that everybody understands that it's your life. You get to live it the way you want. If you want to rock out, you can rock out.
I'm just catching up to a little bit of the chat, and
Oh, Wanda says she loves Sam the rooster. Yeah, my friends have a hobby farm not far from here, and I go up there all the time and I hang out. They've got goats, chickens, rabbits. They're getting alpacas, I think, next, and maybe mini cows. So I spend a lot of time up there with them. It's just a great place. It's in the country. It's just a great place to relax and unwind. So thanks for saying that, Wanda. Sam is he's an Americana rooster and he's gorgeous. And he was actually mute until the first day I went up there, and he stood up and he crowed. And so they were like, "Oh my gosh, that rooster loves you." It was pretty cool. I do love me some animals.
nice. Yeah, I have my cat Maria. She's a Maine Coon. She's domestic and Maine Coon, and I've
I
had
got
her.
my bird,
Yeah, and
as you
she's
see, my little
yeah.
guy getting his head scratched. He's molting, so he's a little cranky.
We get $5 for organic gauge. Yes, yep. Roadhog's been selling those on the weekends,
Yep.
uh, doing his thing on that.
No, I really appreciate everybody. And thanks again for letting me come up and talk about music with you today. It was fun.
All
We'll
right,
do
you
it
were
again.
so excited to be here.
I
I'm like,
am. I love it.
like,
Anytime. Like I said, anytime. I'm excited when you come visit in other people's chats and we start talking about music, even though it's not even a music channel. It's a lot of fun to talk about music.
yeah, I'm just from the ghetto of Detroit. That's
Hi, Mom. I actually visited Detroit once in early 2000s. I flew in to see a concert, believe it or not, downtown. It was my only time I've ever been to Detroit. And I was there for less than 24 hours, but I flew
yeah.
in, saw a concert, stayed in a hotel, and then flew home.
Oh
But
wow, what? That's an adventure.
yeah, I do that quite often, actually.
You're a jet setter concert goer.
Yeah, I've traveled a lot of places in the country to see music, because if the show wasn't coming to where I lived at that time, I had to go somewhere else. So
Next
I've
week, you're next week. You got tickets for to go to Berlin, right? Or
no, I'm going to Maryland in May to see Halloween and Hammerfall. I already bought those
oh,
tickets.
right. Yeah,
So
Hammer. Yeah, I did. I think I did did something on. Yeah, I did. I think it was Christmas Day. I did that when I did Lightning Strikes Again. I believe special guest was Halloween, and I was naming off tour dates in Germany
yeah,
for.
they're doing, I think, 10 shows here in the United States this year, and I wasn't going to miss that, so I bought tickets, and I'll be up there in May.
Ex-official team's mom.
Hey, hi, crazy mom. Oh yeah, Wanda. I used to go to Alpine Valley and Somerset all the time back in the day, because I lived in Minnesota, so I'm very familiar. Good concerts, good outdoor shows up there, and of course cheese curds. You can't get cheese curds down here. Good times though.
So yeah, here in here in Detroit, I'm like I live like an hour away from downtown Detroit.
Hmm.
I'm not actually in the heart of Detroit. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour driving on expressway. Uh, I'm like in the suburbs of where I live at. Um,
Yeah, at the time when we went to Detroit, the downtown area was pretty clean, and it's pretty nice down there. But we were staying in Greektown. But I didn't get a chance to, other than driving in the cab from the airport. The areas around Detroit downtown were pretty sketchy.
yeah,
I wasn't gonna.
you got to
Oh,
keep your doors locked when you go through downtown.
yeah, it was pretty scary. But like I said, it was my only trip there. But I do have a friend that lives somewhere near um, Grand Rapids,
Grand
and
Rapids.
I can't remember the name of the town he lives in. But he sells records. He does music still, and we keep in touch on social media. But he used to travel to Minnesota and Chicago with us to go see concerts back in the day.
Oh, beautiful.
So
See, memories. So yeah, so this is what this show's about, people. This is bringing back the memories, the good times, the innocent times. This is what this show's about, and Lost for Words has broken this channel in. Just
well,
broken in.
I do appreciate you having me as a guest. Like I said, I love visiting other channels and chit chatting about things and just keeping it fun and keeping it real, right?
So yeah, well, I know I keep bringing my channel down, but yeah, you either got to be drunk or high to subscribe to Beat After Beat.
I disagree.
Uh,
Give yourself a little more credit, my friend.
um, and some people are. Oh, well, I was high. I subbed to you. Who are you again? um, very rare I have company like this,
Well, it's been a
but
pleasure. It's been a lot of fun.
I really don't have an agenda with this channel. It's just I love all the people in the chat. You've all become my friends and family, and
That's what it's
um,
about, man. It's
you
about
know,
community,
there-
right?
well, to me, the physical world has unfortunately is disappearing, and we're all in the virtual world now, and that's where we all can find each other and meet each other. Physical world is just sadly every day. It's just nobody talks to each other anymore. Everyone's walking around with their cell phone in their hand, and all the mess we went through for the last 3 years, and the world has changed,
It
and
has.
so it is very hard to adjust from the physical world to the digital world, and it's very hard. But if I didn't have this channel, I would be totally alone. Um,
Oh, it's good though. It's
Totally.
good that you find and make community amongst the people
And
who find commonality and enjoy that time together.
it's therapy.
It is.
When you're around good, like-minded people, and that's why what I've always tried to do is surround myself with kind, loving, boundaries up, and
Washing your effing hands, right?
washing your hands, grabbing an extra bar of soap for this channel. Have some hand sanitizer here. I think I'm gonna bring that up for the hand part of the show, the hand sanitizer. And so, always been a cordial show. It's always been a cordial show. Always people love to come here because I'm a relaxing show.
You certainly are.
I'm a peaceful show. Um, I'm very passionate about peace because I've had so much trauma in my life. Um, I'm too old and to deal with drama anymore. Too sick and too old. Um, and I just got to take care of myself and my cat in my apartment. I'm doing everything correctly. I'm doing everything right, you know. But
one day at a time, right, Pete? One day at a time.
well, my name is Gerald. My real name is Gerald. Um, Jerold. It's Jerold. So I never liked Jerry. Even as a kid, my brother and sister, hey Jerry, let's go to the mall. Let's do this, Jerry. I'm like, who's Jerry? My name is Gerald. Didn't Mom give me that name, Gerald? So call me Gerald. So a while back, I got this bracelet. Um, oh God, this
Oh, there it is.
bracelet here, and it's engraved Gerald on it. So it's like a dog tag. Okay, so when people, because it annoys me when people call me Jerry. So here you go. Here's my name right here.
It's Gerald.
It's Gerald. Please call me Gerald. Even you could be the best family member around, and if you call me Jerry, I won't even answer you. And then when people say cut your hair, I say, well, just because you said that, I'm going to grow it an extra 2 inches longer, because the more you say cut your hair, the longer it gets. And
right.
6 months ago, I just got 7 inches cut off the back. So I got several inches cut off the back about 6 months ago. But if you tell me to cut my hair, I'll just keep growing it. And it's got to be some kind of child rebellion thing going on.
F the establishment, right? Do what you want. You want to grow your hair, grow a beard, do whatever you want. Just do it.
Oh, I don't like beards. I don't like beards. I like to keep close shaved. Try to look as neat as I can.
Parasola says you're too young to say you're too old, Beat. 55 years young, my friend. You're as old as you feel.
Well, the music keeps me alive. It keeps me young. It's like the fountain of youth.
Absolutely.
And without that, I don't want to be a grumpy old man.
Get off my lawn.
Sitting there watching CNN all day and MSNBC. I don't want to be that old man. I don't want. It's not there. I can't do it. I can't be that old man like that. So this music is keeping me alive. The channels are keeping me alive that I do, the programs I do. Not sure if, putting 4 shows a week is a lot, and it's probably hard on
schedule. Mm-hmm.
And it's probably hard on me, but it's what I got.
If it keeps you connected with the outside world, then good, all the power to you.
And I love opening up and sharing my love to everybody, and and appreciate all the support throughout the years. And
Well, I'll definitely be keeping your Lightning Strikes Again show on my playlist, and I'll be watching and visiting in the chat as often as I can.
Oh boy, here we go. We got Exodus next week.
Exodus is good. I've seen them a couple times myself.
Wow.
Milwaukee, Minnesota, North Carolina. I've seen them all over. They're great live. If you haven't seen them, go see them.
So when you were younger, in high school, I used to wear the jean jackets and had the Iron Maiden patch on the back and the Slayer.
Here, I'll even show it to you.
I figured you would have that back patch. Oh, no way. There you go. Look at that. Look at that.
It's on my leather.
Look at that, people. Damn.
The leather's from 1985. I've had that leather jacket since I was a teenager.
Does it smell like 1985?
No. No, it's been rode hard and put out wet though. It's old.
Oh, that is impressive. And then you got the tapestries in the back.
I love my music.
I don't know where I'm at, but I know you got a meatloaf.
Yep, I got about 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to bail.
Well, I surely can't keep up with the chat, and I was going to continue. On, but
you can continue on.
I'm not going to because I have to take my medicine and I have to eat something.
Get some water in you.
Healthy. I got the water here, but yeah, I do have to monitor my health. I do get afraid sometimes. I am alone, and if I go, who's going to watch my cat? Who's going to watch the? There's nobody to do that stuff. There's nobody to come if I need a rescue. So I have to keep strong and the best I can, and because I have things to take care of, I got to take care of my cat for one thing. But I do have to monitor my health, and I do have one other problem. And that is the worn out disc in the back of my neck.
That's from all that headbanging we did back in the day.
Probably, and the teacher's saying to sit up straight in the chair, right? The teacher used to say sit up straight. You're gonna pay for it one day. Your back's gonna go out if you slump down like you do. So I turned down the surgery for the worn out disc.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Going to be taking the cortisone shots in the neck.
Good luck with that.
I've taken them before, but I declined. I said no surgery, no back surgery. So I do also have a worn out disc, and I'm a one-man show. I'm the Energizer Bunny here.
He takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
I try not to complain much, but try to keep the faith.
We got you, bro. We got you.
You guys keep the love and the support. The more you guys keep the love and support going, the more I'll try to continue on. My primary doctor gives me till I'm 60. So he says, if you don't,
let's prove him wrong. Let's prove him wrong. Let's make it to 75 or 80 at least.
At least, yeah. Yeah, 55 now. Yeah, if I don't think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, thanks again for having me today. It was super fun. I can't wait to see you again next week.
Oh man, thank you so much for being excited about being up here. That was cool.
Super fun. Thanks everybody in chat too for all your support. Make sure to check out Beat. He's got lots of shows, 4 a week, you guys.
Lots of education. Lots of. It's all I know.
Yep. You want music? You got Beat After Beat. So check him out. He's got all the information for you.
All right. Much love. Lots for words.
All right, I'm out. I will see you all on the flip side.
Enjoy your day.
Keep rocking, guys.
Thank you so much for showing up, everybody. This is Beat After Beats. Lightning Strikes. Special guest, Lots for Words. 2 hours into the show, 6 people in the house. I am extremely sorry for missing most of your comments. I wouldn't even know where to begin in the chats. That's Cheat Wanda. Killing Blue. Gabriel. Pixie. Clumsy, what's up? Welcome to the show. Be right back. And we're back. Sorry, I had to take a break. Lightning crashes. Everyone go and check out Clumsy. If you can provide a link in just in the chat, Clumsy, I appreciate it. Lightning Strikes Again, opening act, Dokken. Headliner, Dio. Special guest today, Lost for Words. Go check out her channel. Her link should be in the chat, Lost for Words. Thank you so much for showing up as a special guest, Lost for Words. A little over 2 hours into the show. Just catching up to everything. Hope everyone enjoyed the show today. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you, Dill. Much love. Gonna wrap up this show shortly. Six people in the house. Thanks again, Dill. Thank you, Road. Thank you, everybody, for making this special program a total success. My shows always turn out pretty well when you guys show up. I appreciate the love to the fullest. How you been feeling, Beat? Or Solo, much love. Pretty good. Road. I just haven't eaten today yet, and I took all my medicines this morning. Right. Yeah. I have an appointment with my primary doctor Monday. He's going to check the A1C, blood pressure, the weight, my weight, and everything. Last time I saw my primary doctor was last year, of course. My A1C went from 6.8 to 5.7. I weighed 234 pounds. I am 6'1". They didn't have, and it's no excuse, they didn't have my sweet and low for my coffee last week. I ended up getting pure cane sugar, having a couple little Debbie's too with my coffee. Next thing you know, my head's spinning around, and I almost dropped to the ground a couple times last week. Almost ended up in the hospital because I was putting pure cane sugar in my coffee when I was actually supposed to be putting sweet and low in my coffee. Diabetes is nothing to fool around with, even if you have type 2. I don't need needles, nothing like that. Thank God. Um, yeah, I guess I am. I guess I am. Um, I really do the research for you guys and provide you with the most exciting music news education I can give you every week. I do run 4 shows, and it requires me to do a lot of reading and presenting. Um, always been a good presenter, performer, but I am sick, and I try not to let that stop me. You guys keep me going. You guys keep me going. I appreciate you to the fullest. I have nothing going on for the next 3 days. I do have an appointment with my primary doctor Monday, so Beat, can you have honey? Um, if I can have little Debbie's, I can have honey. And I threw away those little Debbie's, by the way. That was wild last week. I got out of bed. My head started spinning around real fast, and I crashed into the wall. And then a few hours later after that, my head really spun around super fast, and I almost dropped to the ground, and I almost had to call an ambulance. I do suffer from PTSD, as well as chronic pain throughout my body, um, arthritis. I have a worn out disc in the back of my neck. Um, my vision's kind of bad. That's why I have trouble reading to you guys. Um, but I'm a one-man show. Doing a great job. But I have nothing lined up for the next 3 or 4 days. I'm going to have a bowl of cereal with strawberries and fresh bananas, and I'm probably going to lay back down. It's been a wonderful and a challenging day here with Lost for Words as a special guest. 40 degrees here in the Motor City and cloudy. Taking a few days off. Thank you so much to the fullest. Primary doctor Monday. There probably isn't going to be a Bio Mondays because I'm seeing my primary doctor Monday. Thank you for showing up here, Solo, even though you're sick. Hope you get well soon. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. Next week, Lightning Strikes will have Exodus as well as Extreme going on. Much love to the fullest. BEAT is out. Have a great day. Feels like your whole body is in a vice, and it's just twisting. It's just twisting your whole body. And I have neuropathy as well in my. I mean, my feet look really healthy and everything. I just can't feel my my feet very well, and I don't have any feeling in my fingertips. Neuropathy, but my whole body I suffer from chronic pain and arthritis, so it feels like I'm being twisted. I always try to keep that smile on my face when I go live. Do the best I can. You guys keep me going. You guys are my engine. Taking a few days off, folks. Got an appointment with the primary doctor Monday, and then we'll go from there. Take care, Road, Hog, and Ed, and Blinky. If you don't see me around, it's because I'm not feeling well. I think we all make you smile and keep on plugging away. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. If you don't see me in your chats, your live shows, probably means that Beat After Beat's laying down. But y'all know that Beat After Beat had his strawberries and fresh bananas and his cereal before he after the show, and he's probably laying down, not feeling well, just very stiff. I'm in a lot of pain. Try not to show it. Much love, Dilho. Take care. 2 hours, 18 minutes. Special guest, lost for words. Much love. Enjoy your meatloaf.